Hey guys, the Overwatch team has released a new blog discussing major changes that are coming next season, so let's go through and see what they have planned for us. Revitalizing the Overwatch 2 experience. The newest season of Overwatch 2 is just around the corner, and with it comes some exciting changes. During our Overwatch 2 What's Next panel at BlizzCon 2023, we shared a sneak peek at some of the philosophy guiding many of the system changes coming this year, striving to make PvP gameplay more rewarding and fun and providing greater transparency for players in-game. We are introducing major changes to competitive in the new season, from a new progression system to an all-new skill tier above Grandmaster, as well as major gameplay changes to combat and hero survivability. Updating the competitive experience. We've heard your feedback on competitive play over the last 8 seasons, and we have some big updates coming that will give you the opportunity to build on your skills and see how you progress through the competitive ranks. We built a better system that's more accurate while also helping convey the meaning behind the mathematical complexity of a modern matchmaker and bring clear insights about what impacts your rank in every match. Okay, so I know that they say this every season, but I really hope that this time things will be different. For a bit of context, for those of you that may be new to Overwatch, I've been playing this game since it first launched in 2016, and in that time, I've seen them make all sorts of changes to the ranked system, but I can say that Overwatch 2 has been the worst that ranked has ever been for a multitude of reasons. Matchmaking is horrible, games are terribly one-sided, people are getting matched with players of completely different ranks that they shouldn't even be in the same lobby with. There's been ranked inflation, and the devs have frankly been trying to experiment and introduce a lot of different things and tweaks that have to try and make the rank system better, but now it's like this hodgepodge of just like what is going on. So I think that this whole competitive rework and ranked reset is much needed, and hopefully going forward we can start off with a fresh slate and ranked will actually be much better than what it currently is. Anyway, that's just a bit of my personal experience with ranked in Overwatch 2, but let's move on. Seeing how and why your rank changes. One piece of feedback we heard is that just knowing your rank doesn't say anything about why your rank went up or down. Competitive updates originally worked to provide updates that reflected your growth as a player across multiple matches, but with the goal to provide greater transparency in each individual match. We're going back to updating your rank after every match and showing how much progress you gain or lose between each skill division. Yay, finally! I mean, that's a step in the right direction. We're also displaying modifiers that affected your last match below the rank progression bar. Some modifiers help provide transparency in the matchmaking for each match, like getting a boost when you defeat a team that was more favored to win, while other modifiers show if your rank is calibrating, like going on a huge win streak, proving you belong in a higher rank. Feedback is a driving force behind these changes, and we want to hear your thoughts on competitive play now that you'll have more context for each game. Okay, so this looks promising. I'm glad that it's showing us more information about like why our rank might go up or down a certain percentage. So as you can see in this graphic here, there's all these different modifiers that will affect whether or not you rank up or rank down. Rank promotion progress. The progress bar shows how much your rank increased as a result of a match. The bigger the highlighted section, the more rank was gained or lost. The reasons why more rank might have been gained or lost are explained in the modifiers below. So you've got win streak, uphill battles, which says you weren't favored but you won. So that means, for example, if you're in a game where you're losing but you ended up making a huge comeback and you won, the modifier will basically say like, oh, you deserve to rank up more than you usually would. And then on the other side, we've got things like loss streak, so you're getting a penalty for losing a lot of games. Reversal, you were favored and you lost. Or an expected, you were favored and you won. Calibration, your rank is uncertain. Volatile, you lost calibration matches after ranking up. Okay, so my initial thoughts are that this looks great, and I think it's a lot better than what we have currently. I'm sure you and I, we've had those moments where we might have won a lot in our series, but only ranked up a little bit or even deranked for whatever reason. So I'm glad that this is a lot more transparent and we can see exactly how much we go up or down by and what factors might be going into that. Moving on, bring a fresh start with placement matches and rank resets. With both the changes to competitive play and the broader changes to gameplay starting this season, we feel this is a perfect opportunity for everyone to start fresh as they compete on the ranked leaderboards. To accomplish this, we're reintroducing placement matches and resetting everyone's competitive skill rank. Your journey to the top begins with 10 all-new placement matches. With everyone's ranks being reset, these 10 placement matches provides you with a high-stakes opportunity to make big gains in determining your new starting rank. As you progress through placement matches, there will be a predicted starting rank after each match. You'll only have one chance this year to run your placement matches, so pick your best heroes and stay hydrated because these games count for a lot. I have to say, I am so glad that they opted for a darker background because the light background that we have right now is kind of harsh on the eyes and this looks so much nicer. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned because it sounds like these placement matches are gonna pretty much be the main factor determining where you first start off with in the new ranked system. So I'm not sure whether or not it takes into consideration at all where you were ranked previously. So does this mean like a Grandmaster player can be placed in bronze if they lose all 10 of their matches? And also, how would grouping work? For example, what if a bronze player was to group up with a Grandmaster player now that their ranks were reset? Does this mean that they can take advantage of what's called min-maxing and use that to try and win as many placement games as possible and to be placed as high as possible? This looks good, but I'm also a little skeptical, so I hope that they explain more on how these placements are actually going to work. If we go back to BlizzCon last year, the devs did mention that this is more of a soft reset as opposed to a hard reset. I just hope that they have some method of controlling the matchmaking in these games because it is going to be hell, I tell you, if there are like previously low ranked players being matched against top 500 players in these placement games. That is just not going to be fun at all. Rise up to the rank of champion. So how high can you go? We're introducing the ultimate rank, champion. This is the most prestigious tier above Grandmaster, intended to show who is the best among the most skilled players in the game. Even with the boosts that placement matches can provide, top ranking players will still need to win a lot of games to reach champion 1 and prove they are the best of the best. This is the most exclusive rank in the history of Overwatch, and we're on the edge of our seats to see who will achieve such heights in Season 9 and beyond. Okay, so I'm actually really glad that they're adding a new rank above GM. I feel like this is going to make ranked feel a bit more competitive. I know that a lot of people who were previously like 4400 SR and above, they feel a lot of frustration with the current rank system because they feel like GM doesn't accurately reflect their skill. So I think this is going to be great for them and it's going to be something that they're going to want to grind towards. And fingers crossed, even though I do feel like I'm kind of washed up at the game, hopefully I can grind and achieve this at some point in time. So I don't know, watch this space and let's just see what happens. Also, I have to say, I think they did an amazing job on the design of the icon. It looks great, and I mean, who doesn't like pink? Next up, new competitive rewards in Jade weapons. Season 9 introduces Jade weapon variants unlockable with new 2024 competitive points. Earning Jade weapon variants will reflect your dedication to competitive play in 2024, not your highest rank achieved. Luckily, these new Jade weapon variants will not be as exclusive as the champion rank. You will progress towards earning competitive points just by playing the game mode, with more progress granted towards wins. Competitive points earned for winning and drawing a match have been rebalanced around this new progression system, which should make every match feel rewarding regardless of the outcome. So it looks like you can unlock these Jade weapons when you earn 3,000 of the new comp points in the new ranked system. Okay, first of all, I'm glad that we are getting new things to unlock with our competitive rewards. Again, this is going to make people want to play ranked more, which is a good thing. However, why did they choose green? I mean Jade, sorry. They could have gone with any other color. I am not a big fan of this color. I don't think it goes well with many of the skins in the game. But hey, at least it's something, right? Legacy competitive points and golden weapons. Through the end of Season 8, players can still earn competitive points towards unlocking golden weapon variants. When Season 9 starts, your previously earned competitive points will be converted to legacy competitive points. You'll still be able to use legacy competitive points to unlock the golden weapon variants, but the way you receive legacy competitive points will change. Once the 2024 competitive year closes, any leftover 2024 competitive points will automatically be converted and added to your legacy competitive points, which can be used to unlock golden weapon variants. So it looks like you can only unlock golden weapons with these legacy competitive points and not the Jade weapons. This is when the 2024 competitive season finishes. Last chance to claim end of season bonuses. Starting in Season 9, competitive challenges that grant bonus competitive points are also changing. Season 8 will be the last season to claim end of season competitive challenges for Seasons 1 to 7. Log in before the end of Season 8 to grab any rewards from Season 7 or earlier that you haven't claimed yet. Once Season 9 begins, you will be unable to receive past competitive points from completed competitive challenges from Season 7 or earlier. You'll still be able to claim your Season 8 rewards during Season 9, but you must log in to receive that bonus before the end of Season 9. Introducing changes to core gameplay. Beyond the competitive rework, Season 9 features major changes to the fundamentals of Overwatch 2 gameplay that affect every hero. We've heard the community feedback around some gameplay pain points and developed changes to the core gameplay with these goals in mind. So, to deliver a more consistent feel to firing and landing your shots on your opponents, lessen the impacts of burst damage to allow for greater counterplay, and adjust where in-game healing and damage are effective to reduce stagnant teamfights. All of these changes have been designed to work in combination to balance each other out, and we're excited for you to get in the game and experience them all at once. Making your shots feel good to hit. One of our main goals with these adjustments is to make firing your weapons and abilities feel more consistent without impacting the time to eliminate a target and without removing the overall feel of gameplay we all know and love. When examining how burst damage values have increased over time, we found that in most cases they've gone down in raw value, though that may not necessarily mean they became weaker relative to other changes. The 5v5 environment and new heroes of Overwatch 2 certainly factor into the perspective, but it's often overlooked that the player base's average skill level, game knowledge, and pace of gameplay are relatively higher now than when the game first launched. Okay, projectile size changes. This is a lot of numbers, but let's see. Plus 0.05 meters for hit scan projectiles with a high rate of fire or spread, such as Tracer's pulse pistols or Reaper's Hellfire shotguns. Plus 0.08 meters for hit scan projectiles that are more precise, such as Cassidy's Peacekeeper or Soldier 76's heavy pulse rifle. Plus 0.05 meters for travel time projectiles that are shotguns or have a very high rate of fire, such as Roadhog's Scrap Gun or Ramatra's Void Accelerator, plus 0.1 meters for travel time projectile with a speed greater than 50 meters per second, such as Zenyatta's Discord Orb, plus 0.15 meters for travel time projectiles with a speed less than or equal to 50 meters per second, such as Pharah's Rocket Launcher. And last but not least, very large projectiles with a base size greater than 0.5 meters have been excluded from these changes, such as Orissa's Energy Javelin or Reinhardt's Fire Strike. Whew, that was a lot. So basically, putting the numbers aside, what I'm getting from this is that it's going to be easier to land your shots, except for those very large size projectiles. Those have been excluded from these changes. When it comes to aiming as a mechanical skill requirement, even players with excellent aim often mention how it can feel random whether a shot hits or not. Due largely in part to the whip speed movement acceleration heroes have been... Wait, what? Sorry. Due largely in part to the whip speed movement acceleration heroes have when changing directions, combined with all of the dashing, leaping, teleporting abilities, hitting a target can be very difficult. Crisp, responsive movement is important to the core gameplay feel, so we wouldn't want to just slow down player movement. Instead, we're improving hit consistency by making both damage-dealing hit scan and travel time projectiles larger. Heroes that have weapons or abilities that don't benefit from any projectile size changes will receive additional balance changes. However, we don't want to make too many hero adjustments before getting a better understanding of the effects from these initial changes, so tune in for more on individual heroes in future updates. Interesting. Honestly, I don't know how to feel about this. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Adjusting health pools to balance gameplay. Since we're increasing the average accuracy of nearly all heroes and want to keep time to kill similar, we're also increasing everyone's maximum health. We've already balanced damage values, damage boosts, critical damage breakpoints, and other factors around 200 to 250 HP heroes, so the new health ends up requiring at least one more hit from most heroes to eliminate an enemy. So 150 to 175 HP heroes increased by 25 HP, 200 to 300 HP heroes increased by 50 HP, 300 plus HP, such as tanks, increased by 75 to 100 HP. I mean, this makes sense to me since they're making it easier to land shots, so obviously they don't want people to be dying way too soon. I guess I'm gonna have to see this in practice. Giving more self-reliance in teamfights. We also want to make sure that the flow of the teamfight doesn't take away from individual player decisions that can determine the outcome of a match. Tanks already have a significant role in each teamfight as they often are the ones to take space and determine where each fight takes place, whereas we want to enable more critical decision making among the damage and support roles. The changes to projectile size and health pools effectively reduce the impact of burst damage and tones down the relative strength of healing, meaning it will take longer to heal someone from 1 HP to full health. to ease the friction of an increased time to fully heal allies out of combat and enable support players to make more informed decisions on who to heal. Everyone can now regenerate health passively at a rate of 20 healing per second after 5 seconds of not taking damage, and the support role passive heal has been adjusted to 2.5 seconds. An increase to health pools and weakening of burst damage means that heroes live longer and teamfights will take longer to conclude. To combat some of the potentially extreme situations there, we're also introducing a new damage passive, empowering them to more easily fulfill their role in securing eliminations, reduce in-combat healing, and potentially add an additional strategic layer to focus firing targets. Okay, so everyone's gonna get passive self-healing, but supports have, it will take half the time before it kicks in for supports. And on top of that, what's this new damage roll passive? Dealing damage reduces the target's healing received by 20%. Okay. Is that when they're damaging them, or is there like a delayed effect? I don't know how long it lasts. It doesn't specify. So these are some interesting changes. Let's start with the self-healing passive that all heroes are going to get. I personally don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because there aren't really that many situations where, for example, your supports are both eliminated and there's no external healing that you can rely on, and it does take 5 seconds to kick in. With the new DPS passive, that's a very interesting one because I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I know at the moment there's a lot of discourse in the community about how much healing is in the game, so in that respect I think it's a good change because it will make it feel easier to eliminate an enemy who is being pocketed, for example, or receiving a lot of healing. At least you can mitigate that somewhat. At its core, Overwatch 2 is a competitive game, so it's important for the core systems and competitive system to be as intuitive and accessible as possible. In addition to these core system changes, we're introducing reworks to Farah and Junkertown, which we'll go into in a later blog. For now, let us know what you think when Overwatch 2 Season 9 Champions launches on February 13th. This was a massive vlog and there are huge changes coming our way, which I'm excited and nervous for at the same time. Hopefully this video helped you guys to understand a bit more of what these changes entail. Obviously I'm not a pro player or expert by any means, but these are just my general thoughts on these changes going into Season 9. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree, or what you think these changes might mean for the game, whether they're good or bad. And yeah, hopefully Season 9 is going to be a great season, because this season, Season 8, has been the worst, and I am just hoping that this game can pick itself up on its feet, and hopefully it only gets better from here. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.